Judges at ringside,
This shit was disgraceful.
And Eugene Grant have the contest identical, 120-108. And Judge Carlos Ortiz has the bout, 116 to 112 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still,
120-108 is outrageous.
Robert Trouble Easter
They was drunk on Thunderbird.
Jr.
The judges was drunk on Thunderbird, yo.
That's what the crowd
That cheap ass wino drink.
Easter Jr. is a unanimous.
There's some wino judges in Ohio.
Two judges had a shot out there.
120-108 every round. The
The
fuck?
8 rounds to 4. Nevertheless, Robert Easter Jr. approves to a perfect 20.
I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. We're back on the saddle. That sounds pause. We're back out here pumping out these videos consistently now. You know, building the numbers back up. But that shit was a disgrace. Now, I did have Robert Easter winning a close fight. 116-112, I can somewhat agree with, depending on what type of fight you were looking for and how judges score. Let's.
Robert Easter, hard.
Adrian Brown, I know that shit fucked up.
Way to bring it home to the whole town. How do you feel your performance?
First and foremost, I want to thank God for this victory. You know, my team prepared me for this hard work. You know, I thank everybody about Ben's promotion. You know, my big brother AB and Al Heyman, my management. I rate myself B minus. You know, I could have did a lot more better. But you know, Shafikov is a tough opponent. You know, he's a tough opponent. But you know, we got the job done.
Did Shafikov surprise you with how tough he was? Was he stronger than you thought?
I knew he was tough. You know, I knew he was tough. But I thought I could be the first one to break him. You know, I started off, you know, in the inside, and my team was telling me to box. So later on in the rounds, we got the boxing.
And then you found the home for that right hand. It seemed like if you just jab and throw the right hand more, you would have coasted. What made you want to sit in the phone booth and bang with this guy?
Because I know that's a lot of guys' weakness. Whenever you touch the gas tank, you see them fall early. So you know, whenever you pressure the tank early, that's when you see them gas a little bit.
Now, I know most people don't like this question, but what's next for Easter Bunny?
Anybody want to step in there with me? You know, my big brother motto is anybody can get it. You know, they call me E-Bunny, EB. Everybody can get it.
Thank you, Robert. Congratulations again. Back to you, friend.
All right, Austin. And congratulations to Robert Easter Jr. And give him credit. He said, you know what? I rate my performance as a B minus. So very hard on himself. And after fresh off the fight, didn't feel like he ended up giving his best, but it ended up being enough. And also giving a nod here to Denis Shafikov.
You know,
so Easter improves to 20.
I'm going to watch the fight again.
A reminder, Premier Boxing Champion.
After this video is over.
Later on this year.
I'm going to watch this fight again after this is over. But there's no way you can tell me that 120-108, you know, 2 judges? Who were those judges? Let me see if it's up yet. Who were those judges? Eugene Grant and Jamie Gariel. What's that, Filipino? I don't know. We're going to figure this out. You know, and poor Denis Shafikov, this is, if I'm correct, his 3rd attempt at a title. One was against Miguel Vasquez. I'm pretty much sure that fight was boring as hell. Rantis Barthélemy. And now Robert Easter. And to get this shot, remember, Robert Easter was in a Fight of the Year candidate. Even though it wasn't like, you know, a clear-cut Fight of the Year. It was a good-ass fight, PBC on Spike, when he fought Richard Comey. Richard Comey went on to fight Denis Shafikov to get a shot at Robert Easter again, except Shafikov won. So this could have easily been, you know, Comey, Easter Comey too. You know, so now it's like, where does Robert Easter go from here? Well, honestly, looking at that division, you know, in fact, let me go pull up the rankings for the top 15 of the IBF at 135 pounds. Obviously, if you don't know, when you're a champion, especially the IBF, you have to fight somebody in the top 15. So, you know, his mandatory is out of the way. Now he's got to start establishing himself at 135 pounds. But has anyone ever heard of him like having issues making 135? Because the guy is 6 foot at 135 pounds. You know, is that a comfortable weight for him, or could we possibly see him maybe go to 140? But if he goes to 140, then guess what? You got to run into Terrence Crawford or Julius and Dungo, and it's going to be one of them after they fight. One of them is going to have all the belts. So you know, I think it's in his best I think it's his best bet, and he's likely going to stay at 135 for that reason. But looking at the 135-pound rankings, you know, you got some nice names in there, especially if you look at the IBF. Now, we're not saying that these fights can happen, well, are going to happen, but they can happen. You got Ray Beltran. You know, Ray Beltran versus Robert Easter. Yo, listen, I don't know, Robert. I don't know. Now, Robert Easter's fights are getting tougher and tougher. And, you know, yes, you know, he seems to be getting better. But in this fight with Shafikov, he didn't use his height. He started staying in the pocket and allowing Shafikov to pressure him. When at first, the first couple of few rounds, he was moving around. The jab was like a piston. And, you know, he was fighting tall and using the reach. As the fight went on, it seemed like Robert Easter started to slow down. Shafikov started catching up to him, pressuring him, and just started loading up on the volume punches, especially that left hand. So looking at the 135-pound rankings for the IBF, you have Ray Beltran, Felix Verdejo, Yvonne Mindy. Remember, he beat Luke Campbell. You got Luke Campbell. You know, Mario Barrios, and you got a few other names that I know of, or I've been hearing of, but they're not like names where people are going to look at that they're going to know. They're going to be like, Robert Easter's fighting who? So if you look at the division, you have the Jorge Linares out there, who is that WBC and that WBA. You have Mikey Garcia, that if he loses to Broner, can come back down and be champion at 135, but then he's going to have to fight Jorge Linares. And then you have Terry Flanagan, who has that WBO, and if I'm correct, Felix Verdejo is going to be fighting him. So Robert Easter has to start really, if he's going to stay at 135, he's got us now that this is his third fight, his second title defense since he won the belt, if I'm correct, right? This is his second title defense since he won the belt? Okay, yeah, he won the belt in the Richard Comey fight. Fort Louis Cruz, then Shafikov. This is 2 fights in now, 2 defenses. So now it's like, okay, maybe one more fight, and then you got to focus on unifying, bro. That's just the law of the land, right? That's just the law of the land. So, with that being said, it's like we really can't say where he goes from here. But I understand that a lot of people, depending on how you score fights, you're going to say that Robert Easter got a gift decision. I can see how you may say that, but remember, judges score things differently. Now, those judges was drunk on Thunderbird. You know, they was drunk. You know, they had flask. You know, while they was watching the fight, commercial breaks, they was, you know, sipping on Grandpa's old cough syrup. They come up with some two of them, 2 120, 108 cards. Okay, where would they get that shit from? But anyway, regardless, truth be told, who is Sherikov's team? They need to protest that shit. I'm not saying that they're going to get a rematch, but something is wrong, you know? Something is wrong right there. But moving on, I forgot what I was going to say. God damn it. Teacher controversy. This is teacher controversy. Oh, the crowd. Yo, it was Ohio fights usually be lit. Now, was there something else going on in the city? Because there was a lot of empty seats in there. When his last fight, it was like 10,000 people there. This shit looked like it was like half that. So I wonder, maybe it's because it's 4th of July weekend. Do they do some other shit in Ohio? Or maybe they still pissed because Cleveland lost? Or, you know, like, why wouldn't people let that fight? Because I thought he had like a Terrence Crawford kind of thing going on, meaning Robert Easter, that when Terrence Crawford fights in Ohio, every time is lit. He's fighting there again, or the ESPN to unify the titles, or to be undisputed. So I was wondering, like, well, what happened tonight? Was there like a, you know, the Jay-Z concert, you know, with the new title, 444 release party or some shit? I don't know. So I gave the fight to Robert Easter, but I can understand how there's going to be some people that are going to say, oh, he got robbed, as far as Shafikov got robbed and everything. The cards were fucked up, but I do feel Robert Easter won a close fight. But the card just was fucked up. 120, 108. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go make me a nice cup of tea, and then I'm gonna get back to this. You know, and I'm gonna watch this fight over again. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.